One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Over half the state, more than half of the state's registered voters have already cast their ballots. That's a big deal. And listen to this. Despite there being more unaffiliated voters, more Democratic registered voters, more Republicans have actually voted so far. So that's a good sign for the Trump campaign. They're really, really pleased with their low propensity voting block. They say that, obviously, those are the voters that usually stay at home in each election. They feel like their internal numbers are showing that he is doing much better in those low propensity voters than Harris is in really every battleground state.
I want you to take a notice where this Fox report is coming from. This Fox report came from Asheville, North Carolina this morning. In case you've been living under a rock, something major happened in Asheville just a few weeks ago. And these people are literally crawling through the woods and crawling through glass to vote. I don't know what happened in that storm. I'm not going to go down the old conspiracy highway. I know a lot of people are. But obviously, these people came prepared, and then there's nothing that's going to stop them from voting.
And it's really going to come down to the voters. And last...
Well, I know Mark very well. He's a very insecure guy. Can't hit a golf ball more than...
This is Trump. He went on after everything we did last night. This morning at 7 a.m., he went live on Fox and Friends, and he's talking about Mark Cuban.
50 yards. He's weak physically and mentally, as far as I'm concerned. But I've known him for a long time. He would call me in the White House incessantly, and finally I just couldn't take his calls anymore, and then he went over to the other side. And he's a guy that wants publicity. When he said that, and he's totally retracted his statement, like, weak people always do. They retract their statements. But he was hit by some of the strongest, not human beings, women. He was hit by the strongest people that it wasn't men, women, it was women. He was hit by women that make men look like babies because many of the women that I deal with and that I have.
If you're not aware, if you didn't see what happened in the last 24 hours or so, Mark Cuban went on The View and he said Trump is afraid of women. he won't surround himself with any smart or any intelligent or strong women. So all the women around him are weak and stupid. Yeah, and then he finally had to come out with an apology, and then because he said something that stupid, the Kamala Harris campaign fired him. You got fired by Kamala Harris. Man, you should just resign from Shark Tank.
And I could go over the list, but the list is long, including the fact that I happen to be married to a rather strong woman who just right now is the #1 bestseller in the whole wide world in her book, Melania. So, no, I've surrounded myself with women. I've given women chances, too. I mean, I had Kellyanne as the head of my 2016 big victory. Susie Wiles is strong. You know, she's the daughter of Pat Summerall, right? Good genetics there. And I have tremendously struggled. In fact, I've been actually accused of the other. They said, couldn't you get some women that aren't as strong? I have more problem the other way until Mark Cuban came along. But
all right. The White House continues to buy votes. Here's an unreported story. You'll never get this on the corporate media.
So I, as much as I dig into news, I miss this. When you hear this, I know you've heard so much about what's going on in Ukraine and all these other places. Wait till you hear what Bill's about to drop.
But did you know that after the garbage comment, that the White House has given the University of Puerto Rico $5 million? Just wrote.
These people just doling out money. This wasn't from her campaign. This is the White House just gave away $5 million to the University of Puerto Rico because Joe said something stupid.
A check. And all told, 19 million in grants to schools that serve Hispanic students. Now, I don't, that's fine, but after the Madison Square Garden thing, and you write a check to the University of Puerto Rico for $5 million, you're buying votes.
Straight up. They make no bones about it. They're flying money around. Hey, he said something about Puerto Rico, and we're the ones you should come over here. Here's $5 million in money here. Here's another 19 here. Do whatever you need to do. Just vote for Kamala, please.
And here's something worse.
Oh, and don't forget, we had J-Lo on stage and Cardi B, both of whom are Spanish. So we love the Spanish people, even if they've been hanging out with Puff Daddy.
The Harris campaign, which has $1 billion, is writing checks too. And one of the organizations that is receiving money from the Harris campaign is Black Voters Matter Fund. Black Voters Matter Fund. I never heard of this. Did you ever hear of it?
No, sorry, Bill. I don't know anything about the Black Voters Matter Fund. Sounds mysteriously like that other Black Something Matter that ended up being a huge fraud.
It's a nonprofit, okay? So this group has received hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Harris campaign. This group, Black Voters Matter, has called for the defunding of American police. I'll take all the money away from the police, okay? And they want reparations for slavery. I told you that Kamala Harris supports reparations for slavery to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. That's income redistribution. That's the way to take money from the general tax fund and give it to selected groups, reparations for slavery. It's impossible to regulate that. What are you going to trace every single African American's ancestry? Can't regulate it. Harris supports that. Do you know that? Has that been reported? Unbelievable.
You cannot be.
Now just realize that. We have an entire media of CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox News, just name them. And Bill Riley, who used to be on Fox News, is uncovering this thing that she's actually funding an organization that wants to promote reparations for blacks. Now, I understand I'm black, and I'd love for them to call me and go, hey, you up for these reparations? Why am I paying myself? Because what these morons don't understand is that the government doesn't have any money. In order for the government to pay reparations, they're going to take it from other people. So you morons who don't understand, your tax dollars, whatever minuscule amount they are, and in some instances there are some wealthy black people, you're paying for your own reparation. They're going to take and tax you. You vote for her, and she wants to tax unrealized capital gains. She wants to raise the corporate tax rate. You're going to be paying 50, 60% on the top end in terms of taxes until they decide that's not enough because there's no definition of fair share. So you're going to be paying all these taxes, and basically they're going to be paying you with your own money. Never mind the fact that the white people are paying in, and they're not going to get a dime. So that's going to go over really well. Really well. Wait till you do that if she were to somehow steal the election. Then you're going to tell everybody, all the white people, all the Hispanics that are paying taxes, hey guys, I know we got to raise your taxes because Barry and his boys need to get more cash from you. I ain't touching that. I don't want nothing to do with that. Nope, forget about it. Keep that, save that. If I have to pay more taxes, then so be it. But you don't include me in this nuttery. Shameful nuttery that you literally are advocating, and beneath the surface, even though CNN and all those networks know it, they know you're giving money to these organizations, and they're letting you just covertly begin putting things together so that you can give reparations to somebody who's never baled a cotton, never baled any cotton, never been in a whipping post, never got to sleep in the big house. Yet you want to give them reparations. Matter of fact, you're going to give reparations to people who don't know anybody who slept in the big house or got whooped or anything else. How's that going to work? You're just going to raise your hand? You're going to take a blood test? Oh, yeah, take a blood test. Here, go ahead and see if I was related to Kunta Kinte. How are you going to do that? How are you possibly going to link back to people you don't have DNA samples from and say now, oh yeah, you look black. I mean, you're going to do a Pocahontas type thing with, what's your name, Liz Warren? She had high cheekbones. You got a big flat nose. Oh, you must have been, you got some slave blood in you, bro. Oh, really? Okay. I can tell by the kink of your hair. You must have some of it in you. You get the check. Tell me how, once you do pull everybody's money, how do you decide who gets it? Is it the darkness? Is it the pigmentation? You tell me. Let's see who's coming up on stage right now. Somebody's about to come walking out. Not sure who it is. Oh, my goodness. The man is on time. The man is walking out. Tiger Energy himself is walking out on stage and driving the Secret Service bat poop crazy. Let me go ahead and show you what he did. Instead of walking directly to the stage, he decided to walk over and say hello. Say hello to these ladies. I guess that's the North Carolina ladies. And the Secret Service came sprinting over like, hey, man, you can't just walk up to people in the stands. Watch me. I'm Donald J. effing Trump. Watch me. I took a bullet to the head. I'm going to go over and shake these people's hands. So Donald Trump, well, timed that one kind of perfectly. I was watching and I was thinking to myself, when do you think Trump's going to show up? And sure enough, he shows up at right about the time that I go live. So I'm not going to have to burn any time. I can save those stories. Excuse me. I can save those stories for the next show, and then we can go. Now let's understand. I'm hoping that whoever the vendor is with the sound system here has actually put together a good sound system, and that we're not going to run into problems. But here he comes. As you can see, he's walking up. The camera is shaking because this venue, it's been rocking. I've been watching it for a while I was getting ready. It's been rocking, people. I mean, just Amazing. Look at all the young girls behind him. Yeah, and there's young men and young women are behind him right now. So you'll see that when he gets up on the stage. All look like all college kids. They're having a great time. They've been there for hours and hours and hours, but they're having a great time. So Trump is stepping up to the mic. Let's hope all the production, make sure there's no buzz, make sure there's no fuzziness. Everything should be okay. This is Trump from Greensboro, North Carolina. As you know the drill, I'm going to turn it on, and then you guys need to tell me how the sound is and make sure it's clear, not too loud. If it's too loud, turn it down on your device first before you tell everybody it's too loud. Hey, it's too loud. There's these buttons over here, and if you hit the right button, the volume goes down. Or if you're on your TV, you hit the remote and the volume goes down. It's an amazing device. Those things can be done. So thank you for tuning into the third and final show of the evening. Crowd's rocking. They've been sitting there all day, so I can be there. I'm looking at a very diverse crowd. Just in the shot, you can see Latinos, you can see black people, you can see younger, you can see older. And as you're seeing, the camera may shake a little bit. They're up on a podium. I'm looking at a different, there it is. You see it shaking? the place is rocking. Yeah, she's winning. So I know somebody wanted me to show them the newest polls that came out, which are scary for Kamala Harris. I don't care about the polls, but if you want, I will show them to you. It's trust me, you may want to see them. But as I've told you many times, you're going to see the polls begin to correct, and you're going to see the other ones lie. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. Yeah, I can tell. It's so close. Yeah. I believe that. Not. So I hope you got a cup of coffee, maybe a slice of cheesecake, maybe a cannoli or two. Looks like we're going to be here. He's going to step up there about 9:15, 9:18. He does his normal 90 minutes. We'll be here till about 11. We'll get out of here and get to bed at a reasonable hour, and then we do it all over again tomorrow. 3 shows tomorrow. I got some special stuff planned for you because it's Sunday. And I don't know what time. I have to check and see what time the ones are for tomorrow. I'll post them in here. But we got 3 shows tomorrow, and then 4 on Monday. 4. I don't even know how he's going to do it. I don't know. It's amazing to me that this man has this kind of energy at 78 years old. Can't even imagine what kind of energy he had in his 30s and stuff. Maybe that's why he was running around doing crazy stuff. But anyway, he's walking to the mic, and as soon as he walks to the mic, I need you to tell me if it sounds okay. And here we go.
Thank you very much, and hello to a very special place, North Carolina. We love it.
All right, you know the drill. Let me know how it sounds.
We've done a number of these. I don't know how many people could do them. I don't know. But you love it. You know why? There's like a love. It's a crazy love we have for each other. It's crazy. But I'm thrilled to be back in this great, beautiful place. It's a wonderful place with wonderful people. They really are proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what they are. And I'd like to begin by asking a very, very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I don't think so. So I've come today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote Tuesday, I will end inflation. I will stop the massive invasion of criminals into our country. And I will bring back the American dream. And this is all you really need to know. Is she the worst or what? She's the worst. And you know what? I don't like to say it. Okay. You promise that you're going to be voting on Tuesday, right? If you haven't already voted. Because I'm not supposed to say this. You know, I'm going to be like the fake news. They're saying it's very close. It's really not very close. based on what's been happening. It's not so close. We're leading in all 7 swing states, as you probably know. And we just left Governor Youngkin, and we're certainly doing well in Virginia. It's not considered a swing state, but it may very well be a swing state. And I just had a little birdie told me that we're leading in New Jersey. What's that all about, huh? We love New Jersey. I always said about New Jersey, I said it's going to happen there. But so remember this. She's the worst vice president in history, and she broke it. She just broke the whole damn thing. But I will fix it, and I'll fix it fast. We're going to do it quickly. America will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. And this election is a choice between whether we'll have think of it, 4 more years of incompetence and failure. Does anybody like that? Because some people like that. Some people like it. You know, it's more interesting to watch. Isn't it more interesting to watch a totally grossly incompetent administration? The other way, it's boring, you know, everything works out well, Mr. Senator. Got a lot of senators, a lot of power here today. Whoa, look at that. A lot of big people. There's a lot of power here tonight. Or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country, right? We think we like that. These are the front row Joes. They've been with me like 400 and something times. Front row Joes. Now you're worried because, you know, I saw them. They were here. I did another one today. They were there too. These are the great. They got a lot of money too. I hear they're rich people. I hear they have a lot of cash. The front row Joes. But I was very upset because they were actually sitting in the second row. I said, "What the hell happened to you guys?" Never. But now you're back where you belong, right? The front row Joes. And we have about 50 of the most beautiful women anywhere in the world. And they're represented by about 20 tonight. And they've seen, I think it's like 251 rallies they've been to. They're beautiful women. They're wealthy women. They live in a place called North Carolina. And you know, we did another one in North Carolina, and I really didn't see them. They had imposters. No, they had some imposters today. They were saying, "We're the women." And I'm looking at these women that were like 16, 17 years old. I said, "You're not the women." And I was insulted because I come to their state and they weren't there. And I said, "Well, what the hell?" But now I see that they're here. You can't ask them to go to 2 and 1. Because that was in North Carolina today. Early. We started early in the morning, and here we are late at night, and here I'm doing the same stuff. But, you know, I was a little insulted. I said, "Where are," we call them the ladies from North Carolina. These are very successful ladies. I have no idea what's happening with their husbands. They're all happily married, but I never see the husbands at all. I never see them, but they've been to literally more than 250 rallies, right? So, but I was very upset today because in my first, it was North Carolina. Do you believe this? I go from North Carolina to Virginia and then back to North Carolina. Does that make sense? So now I'm no longer upset because nobody can expect them, as crazy as we all are, nobody can expect them to go to 2 rallies in one day. I think their husbands maybe would leave them for that. That would be the end. That would be the end of it, Mr. Senator. You're a great senator, you are. You are a great senator. The ladies from North Carolina, look at them. Thank you. Thank you. We're proud of you. And you know, it's sad, though, actually, because we've done this now for 9 years. We've had the biggest rallies in history of any country. And every rally's full. You don't have any seats that are empty. You don't have anything. I mean, the one we had today, you missed a beauty. We could have filled that place up 20 times. I mean, that was beautiful. And the Virginia rally, did you hear about the Virginia rally? That was, Glenn Youngkin did a great job, the governor of Virginia, and they had a crowd there that was incredible. And then we came here, and we don't want to be late, but it's very hard when you do these things. It's very hard, and you don't mind a little bit. We weren't very late. Just a few minutes. Just a few minutes, depending on your definition of when it's going to start. But, you know, we've been doing, I was talking to some of the people. It's sort of, you know, in a way it's sad, and in a way it's beautiful. I was talking to them, and I said, you know, this is coming to an end. These rallies are coming to an end. We've been doing them, think of it, for like 9 years. We started a year before, and we've had tremendous success. In 2016, we did phenomenally, right? We went in, they gave us a 3% chance, and sort of like amazing, right? 3%. That means 97% for crooked Hillary and 3% for me. And I was saying, well, I went to Iowa, and I had 48,000 people, and she had about 300 people. And then we went to another one in another state. We had 49,000 people. She had 243 people. And I kept saying, why are we going to lose? Why are we going to lose? And we didn't lose, you know. We ended up winning, and we ended up winning the presidency, right? And that was an exciting night. Remember how it started? It started with a bunch of fake news. Look, there they are. That's a lot of fake news. That's a hell of a lot of fake news. The fakers, I call them now. I'm sort of lightening up. I'm starting to like them, too. I don't know what it would be like to get good publicity. I really don't. They treat me so badly. They are the worst. And yet it works. You know, it could be they treat me good and nobody would come. I don't know. There's something screwy here. But no, they treat us terribly. But I don't care because we keep winning. As long as we keep winning, we don't care. But so what's been amazing is that we've just had this success. But if you remember in 2016, so I started off at 3%. I never even heard of this before, but I guess you know it more as a candidate. But I was given a 3% chance of beating crooked Hillary. And I understand that because, you know, she was a Secretary of State and she was married to the President of the United States. And she was a smart and is a smart woman. She lies like hell, but not as bad as Kamala. And I mean, she's much smarter than Kamala, but she doesn't lie as much. Hillary is a liar, a real liar, but Kamala is crazy. Kamala actually said, he is not going to frack. He is not going to drill for oil. He's not going to drill. I've been saying drill all my life. I'm saying we're going to drill. No, they made it up. He is not in favor of IVF, fertilization. I am. I'm like the father. I consider myself to be the father of fertilization, remember? We got the bad. They got a ruling from an Alabama judge, very conservative judge, probably a good judge, but he gave a very strong ruling. And Katie Britt, the senator from Alabama, called up, sir, you have to help us. You have to help us. I said, explain. She said about what happened with the IVF. The judge said close all the clinics all over Alabama. And she said, everyone is furious. I said, explain it to me. And when she explained it, it took me about 2 minutes to figure it out. And I came out with a very strong statement, totally in favor. We want to help women, and totally in favor. And now, and it worked. And they passed, by the way, they met, the Alabama legislature met the following day and approved everything. I mean, it was amazing, really, when you think. And then, think of it. And so it was 100%. And she said, I'm against IVF. This woman, I've never seen anything like it. 2025, Project 2025. I've never read it. I don't want to read it because that way I can be honest with you. I don't want to read it. some people got together. I assume they're extremely conservative, and that's okay. Then they came up with a plan, but I told them I don't know about the plan. They had a couple of people that worked for me in the administration, I guess, or something, but they came up with some kind of a plan, and it's on the conservative side, I assume. And they keep talking about Project 2025. And I said, I don't know about it. Everything she says is a lie. It's the most incredible. I can go point after point, when in fact, she's changed 15 policy positions, the most in the history of presidential politics. She wants to take away your guns. She said, no, I'd love you to keep them. I'd love you to keep the guns. Would anybody like to give up their gun to Kamala right now? No, everything she's changed. There will be no fracking. In my life, I will never approve fracking. I will never approve drilling for oil. Isn't it terrible? This is her. And then what does she do? She says, I'd like fracking very much, because she was getting creamed in the polls. Anyway, she changed 15 policies. There's never been anything like it. And I will tell you, we're winning by so much, because people aren't going to take that. They know where it's coming from. But all of the problems that she's caused tremendous problems for our country. And if you've seen the new numbers that just came out, they are atrocious. This is like we're in a depression, and we're going to talk about it. But every problem facing us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is really in your hands. This is a very important state, and we have to get this solved. We have to get you out. We're winning by a lot, but you can lose by a little. When you're winning by a lot, you can still lose by a little, and we can't take a chance of losing the great state of North Carolina. We're not going to lose the great state of North Carolina. On Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough, that you can't take it anymore, that she was the worst vice president in the history of our country, that she works for the worst president in history, okay? He makes Jimmy Carter look great. Jimmy Carter's the happiest man. He just turned 100, and he can now go down as a brilliant president by comparison to this. Well, he didn't let 21 million people come into our country from jails, prisons, and everything else, right? But you can just now say, Kamala, you don't get any worse than you. Kamala, I can't stand you, Kamala. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Out. Get out. Can't stand you, Kamala. Get out. You've destroyed our country. I want to send our prayers to everyone here in North Carolina who is still recovering from Hurricane Helene. It was a bad one. I was there. I saw the devastation. I was there long before Kamala. Long before. They're still not seeing Kamala. They're not seeing federal government, that I can tell you. The job they've done is terrible. But, they've spent all the money on illegal aliens coming into our country. It's true. As you know firsthand, Kamala's hurricane response was a disgrace and a betrayal of her duty as vice president or whatever the hell she is. Nobody even knows anymore. Where the hell is Biden? What happened to that guy? Where's Biden? Tell me, is this the worst administration in history? Where the hell's Biden? Where's Biden? The ladies from North Carolina, what happened to Biden? What the hell's going on? This is the worst administration in history. Nobody knows who the hell they're supposed to be talking to. The only thing that's good is you have totally confused the enemy. Because President Xi of China is saying, who the hell are we speaking to over there? What's going on with that place? Putin is calling, nobody ever calls me. I'm fighting a war. Nobody ever talks to me. We can talk him into not fighting if we had competent people, but they are not competent. No, but think of these guys. They're probably saying, who the hell is running the United States of America? It can't be her. She's a low IQ individual. Now, just yesterday, it was reported that under Kamala, almost 50% of the phone calls to FEMA It was a disaster. They went unanswered. FEMA was not even answering their calls. They had no money. They couldn't pay their damn phone bill because all the money's gone to the migrants. The migrants coming in from various and sundry prisons and mental institutions, right? North Carolina called out for help, and the phone rang. I had to get you. I had to call. They actually asked me, good people from North Carolina, let me tell you, but they were having, this was the worst water hurricane. They call it a water hurricane. It had more water than, I guess, anything they've ever seen. I know this. I was in Palm Beach, and we were actually hit, if you can believe it, lightly by comparison, but it spread all over the Florida landmass, which is amazing. But think of it. They had they weren't prepared at all, the federal government. You know who was prepared? Franklin Graham and a lot of other people. Thank God. And I gave Franklin, we gave him a lot of money, and others too, $7 million. That's good. And the reason is they do such a good job. I was going to do it myself, and then I see Franklin, the way he works, and I said, you do it. Here's the money. Just do it. But he was great, and the whole group is great. But we had no help from FEMA. FEMA is a disaster. They are missing in action. They have no money. They took all of the money, and they spent it on the migrants. They have no money. What a disgrace. So they have no money for the people of North Carolina that have lost their houses. Many have died. Many are missing. And it's a horrible thing, and they don't have the money. But we're going to be here, hopefully, on January 20th, and you're going to see very good and very quick service. Right? Very quick service. You know, Kamala's putting up migrants in luxury hotels in Manhattan, while Americans who have lost their homes are living in tents and living without tents, too. But you know, one of the most incredible things about what's taken place, and I was not interested in the election from the standpoint of North Carolina with the people. I wanted to have the people solve their problem, help them. But from the election standpoint, I said to my people, I think the most you can probably get is 50% of the vote. They lost their houses. They've lost relatives and husbands and wives. I mean, a lot of people killed. Terrible. And I said to him, that's the worst, and that's 99% of our effort. But just out of curiosity, we have an election going on, a big one. I think the most important election in the history of our country. I said, so just out of curiosity, are they going to be able to vote in North Carolina? They just got hit so hard. And I figured if we got 40 or 50% of the vote, it would be great. I mean, it would be wonderful. It would be nice. And you know what happened? You broke the all-time record for voting. I mean, how the... Think of it. You broke the all-time record thus far. In other words, this far in, and it's not even close. What do you think of that, Mr. Senator Budd? What do you think? That's pretty amazing people, right? No, but think of it. I figured if you got 50%, it would be a miracle. And they beat the records from other times. But we've had just a great time together. We had 2016, then we have 2020, where we did much better, okay? We did much better. We got a lot more votes. We got millions of more votes, but a lot of things happened. A lot of bad things happened. But this time, I will tell you, and I think a lot of it's that you like me, but you like me even better because you saw these grossly incompetent people. It made me much more popular than I was, and maybe more popular than I should be. I don't know. Because we're blowing it away. We're doing... Now, I don't know. You still have to go and vote. We have to, as they say in football, let's finish it off, right? You got to get that ball across the end zone. You got to get it into the end zone, and that's where we are. But we're in great shape to finish off these people, these leftist, crazy people that are destroying our country, and we're not going to let them destroy it. She destroyed San Francisco. She helped destroy the state of California. We're not going to let her destroy our country. We're not going to let it happen. So we got to get out there. And when I'm president, we're going to evict the illegals and we'll take back our properties. You take a look at what they've done. They've actually taken over property all over our country. They've taken over property. And, we're going to get the housing and the relief and everything else that we need, but we're going to take back our country, okay? And under the Trump administration, the only free service we're going to be given to these illegal alien criminals, and many of them are not criminals, but a tremendous number of criminals are here. The only free aid they're going to get is a free ride back home. And I'm always going to put America first, and we are just 3 days away from the greatest political victory in the history of our country, I guess in the history of the world. But it only happens if you vote. If you don't vote, then bad things could be happening. You'll be very depressed. And we don't want to have depression, right? There's no depression. The best way to stop depression? Work your ass off. Work your ass off. You don't have time. You want to work so hard that you don't have time for depression. But I didn't come here looking for your money. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. All I want you to do is get out and vote. Get out and vote. Tuesday, you've a lot. Let's see, out of curiosity, who has voted already? So who's going to be voting on Tuesday? All right, that's good. That's good. I'm actually going to be voting on Tuesday also. So. With your help, we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to win North Carolina, and we're going to make America great again. Thank you. So, just to finish it off, because I'm the greatest weaver, we weave. They used to say, oh, he's rambling. No, I'm not rambling. It's like genius, okay? I don't ramble. I'll let you know when I ramble, and then we'll have to talk. No, I cover different territories. It always ends up back in the right location. But if you look at what we've done together, it's, let's see, I'll have 3 tomorrow. On Monday, I'm going to do 4 of these. That's a lot. How many people can do 4 of these in one day? I don't think too many people. And I was going to ask you, thank you. It's late. What the hell time is it? It was total trouble. I was going to ask you, maybe I'll do a very shortened version, and will everybody be happy with that? I didn't think so. No, we won't do that. We won't do that. But so just to finish off the original thought, though, it's always nice to finish things up, like in life. You got to finish it up properly. But was Rogan good? Did he do a good job, though? That was good, right? Joe Rogan, good man. He's a good man. We had a lot of fun with a lot of different things, but we're going to take over this, and what we've done is, it's sad that it's coming to an end. So tomorrow I'm doing 3 rallies, and on Monday I'm going to do 4 rallies in one day. That's a lot. I mean, my opponent today, gave a press conference. Hello. And then, how about, a couple of days ago, she's going to take a day off, do a press conference that lasts about 3 minutes, because you can't, if you ask her questions, she's going to screw it up, so they wanted to be. And then after that, took the day off. And then she announced a day off and then another day off. And I'm saying, you know, you're trying to win the presidency of the United States, and you had, like at that time, about 14 days left, and she was taking day offs all over the place. And I said, you want to be president of the United States? How the hell do you take a day off? I've gone 62 days now. 62 days doing this thing. No day off. No day off. I don't care. I told the golfers, have fun. Enjoy your golf. I'm not playing. I didn't take any day off. We're working hard because we have to win it. And we have to win it, not for me. We have to win it for the country. We got to take back this craziness. So never in history has there been anything like this. If, for instance, somebody comes down in 4 years and they're going to be the Republican nominee or the Democrat nominee, and they call for a rally, and they'll have 300 or 400 people show up. And it'll usually be in a ballroom, and they'll raise a couple of bucks or something, but you'll have 250. Look, Biden couldn't fill up the 8 circles, right? Remember the 8 circles? They used to ask the fake news media to, please, would you mind standing in a circle? Because they couldn't. But it's like an amazing phenomenon what's taking place. It's never happened before where I don't even ask them. I come out of this very nice airplane. I never say, oh, how many people are there? Have we been able to fill? I never say it. I used to say it at the beginning in 2016, and then I got bored because it was always full. We always had the ladies of North Carolina. Am I right? Am I right? Always full. And you're going to have a nice candidate, whoever that candidate may be, and he's going to come in, and he's going to come here. You'll have 200, maybe 250 people. This will never happen again. I really believe it. I've been told that by many very sophisticated people. Front row Joes, they probably know. But, and you'll never see the front row Joes either. You know why? Because they don't want to be bored. They don't want to be. That's the end of the front row Joes, but we're going to do something. We're going to have a celebration. Let me just tell you, so I have 3 big ones tomorrow, and then I have 4 big ones on Monday, and then we shut it down. Never to happen again. But, which is sad, but here's the good part. Hopefully we will have achieved our goal. We're going to become president, and we're going to have a different form of rally, a rally for our country. We're going to fix our country. So we're going to have rallies for our country, and it is sad. It's sad because this will never happen again. I don't believe it can ever happen again. It was just amazing, like a confluence. You know what the word confluence? It was a confluence of things that happened. And it became something so special. People, foreign leaders watch our rallies. Can you believe it? I've had the biggest foreign leaders say, you know, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I watch your rallies. I said, it's amazing. The biggest people. But you know what we're going to have, though, because we want to get this done. And then after that, what we're going to have is a different form, and probably a different name, not a word rally, but we're going to be even much happier because we're going to set our country into the right path, not the wrong path. If you saw it today, it came out, they're close to 90%, you know, the right way, wrong way thing that they do, these crazy people do back there? How about they're close to 90% wrong way? And then she says, no, I'll do the same thing as Joe Biden's been doing, and he's 90% off. He's got nobody's ever been at 90%. One thing I'm very proud of, the press, when I first got started, the fake news back there. Very proud of that name. I gave a lot of good names, didn't I, right? But I'm very proud of that name. But the fake news back there, they were at 92% approval rating when we started this journey in 2015. And now they're less than Congress, which is in the low 12s. I'm very proud of them because I've exposed them as being fake. And the only problem with that And I'm so proud of that term. But the only problem with that is the word fake is not strong enough. They're crooked, like Crooked Hillary. They're corrupt. There are actually a lot of corruptness. Not all of them, but about 91%. No, there's some good ones sitting. Oh, whoa, a couple of good ones, actually. I'm sorry, would you go home and tell your wife? I wasn't talking about you. He knows who I'm talking about. No, there are a couple of good ones, but a lot of bad ones. And really, to make America great again, you really need a free and clear and beautiful and fair press. You really do. And we don't have that. Yesterday, it was announced that Kamala's economy, and this is the big thing, because you never want to be involved with something like this if you're president. So just remember, it started before me. Yesterday were like the worst numbers I've ever heard. It was announced that Kamala's economy added only 12,000 jobs last month. Usually it's 200,000, 250, 390. I mean, 12,000. That's like Walmart will add 12,000. Not this country. One of the worst, he said it's overstated. You get a lot of funny people in North Carolina. No, they're very, no, I had it at the rally I had, you had one person, two people, they were giving me the greatest lines I've ever heard in North Carolina. I actually asked them to stand up. I was going to take their number because they were great. But that was very good. They're overstated, he said. No, but it's a very serious thing. It's only good for one thing. It's horrible. It may be a depression. It's only good for one thing. You know what the one thing is? If you are running for office against the idiots that cause this problem. If you're running for office, it's very good, right? Other than that, Ted Budd, it's not so good. Other than that, no, if you're running for office, it's good. If you're running for office against them, it's great, actually. But it's the worst report, one of the worst job reports of all time. It is actually. Listen to this. We lost 30,000 private sector jobs in a single month. Well, 250,000, think of that, people left the workforce. 250,000 people left the workforce because they didn't have jobs. More than 100,000 manufactured jobs have been wiped out since the beginning of the year. 50,000 jobs this month. You know what that is? I mean, an amazing statistic is that 100% of all of the net job gains in the past year, 100% of the gain, all of it, has gone to migrants. 100% of the gain. And they're taking the jobs from African Americans and Hispanic Americans, and especially the African Americans. And I tell you what, African Americans, if you looked at the numbers, you would never vote for these people. Again, it's a whole big con job. And they're trying to delay it till after the election. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. Because if you take a look at so you have African American jobs, people that are occupying these jobs, and they're going to lose them, and they're losing them at numbers that nobody's ever seen before. And they want to announce them after the election. No, they should announce them now. They know what they are. And it's a terrible thing is happening. They're coming in and they're taking jobs held by black people. They've had those jobs for 10, 15, 20 years. They have a house, they have a little mortgage or something. And their jobs are going to be gone by illegal migrants coming into the country, and you should show those numbers. You should take those numbers and you should announce them before the election, because if you see those numbers, everybody's going to be. And by the way, Hispanic Americans are next. They're being very, very badly and severely hurt. If Kamala wins, you're 3 days away from the start of a 1929-style economic depression. That's what a lot of people think. And a lot of the genius, real brilliant people like Scott Bessent and others. These are, I call them the 184 people. You know what that is? 184 IQ, as opposed to about a 70 IQ for our person that we're fighting on the other side. They have 184 IQ. No, the geniuses on Wall Street, a lot of them, you know what they're saying? The only reason the stock market's doing okay, but it's doing actually good, because everyone thinks that Trump is going to win the presidency. That's the only reason. I can see that. If I win, you're 3 days away from the best jobs, the biggest paychecks, and the brightest economic future that the world has ever seen. Kamala's inflation nightmare has cost the typical American family $30,000 in higher prices, and now she wants to impose the largest tax hike in American history on you, on everybody in this room. More than $3,000 a year. Congratulate. This is the only person ever to run a campaign on the fact that I will raise your taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell you, I mean, the only thing you can say is maybe they're finally honest about something, but I've been watching politics. Every politician wants to you want to do it. Sometimes you can't, but you want to lower taxes. She's running on a basis that I will raise your taxes. I will take, I got a lot of things for you. I passed the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And included in that is like things many things are included, many really good things, but one of them is the estate tax or the death tax. If you have a small farm or a small business, you can give it to your kids. If you like your kids, if you don't bother, don't even listen. No, there are some people that don't. Are there any people here that don't like their kids? Because if you don't, then don't waste your time listening to this. But I, in that package, I have the estate tax, or the death tax, as some people call it. It's a tough tax. And for farmers and small businesses, you can leave it to your kids without a tax. Isn't that nice? And that's a big deal because, they leave their farm to their children, and then the children get the tax bill, which is humongous, and they go out and they borrow money, and in many, many cases, big percentage, they lose the farm, gets taken away by the banks, and they've never dealt with banks before. They don't know how to handle banks. There's a way to handle. I do. Who said that? I got it out before he did. I do. I know how to handle banks. But the banks come in and they end up taking the farm and, going smiling all the way to the other bank. But I'll tell you, listen, so they want to end that. They don't want that, and I want that. I think it's great. You love your kids. You leave the farm. They have to go out and borrow a fortune. They have to pay like a 50% tax on the value, and they don't have that money. And so often they lose the farm, they lose the business, they lose whatever it is. And I have a very powerful paragraph in there. You don't have to do that. And they want to take that out. They don't like that. There's a meanness to this group that that a lot of people don't understand. I will massively cut taxes. I'm going to cut taxes for workers and small businesses. And we will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. No tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. Our seniors are going to be happy. Our seniors have a, very fixed income, most of them, not all of them. I'm a senior. Can you believe it? I'm a senior. I don't feel like a senior. I feel... And you know what they'll do to me? Tomorrow there'll be a headlines in that stupid New York Times. The worst. There'll be a headline. The Washington Post looks like it's phasing out. That's a good thing for America. But the Times will follow. So inaccurate. So there'll be a headline that I have a conflict of interest because I'm the president. And I said, no tax on Social Security benefits. Donald Trump has a conflict of interest. He only did it to save like $100 a week or something. But we're getting you back a lot of what they have destroyed because inflation has destroyed the seniors and people on a fixed income. and we're getting that back for you by no tax. You deserve that. You deserve it. And to rapidly reduce inflation, I will end Kamala's war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We got more liquid gold than Russia, than Saudi. You know, we were in 4th place when I took over, and when I left. Oh, you have to do me a favor. Drop my all-time favorite chart in history. Just drop it. Drop that chart if they can, if you can find it. There it is. I love that chart. I sleep with that chart. I kiss that chart. Without that chart, I wouldn't be here. Can you believe it? I mean, it wasn't there. That wouldn't have helped me in Butler, but that helped me when I turned. Just look at my chart. What the hell was that? No, we wouldn't be here without that chart. Even if the chart were lousy, I'd love that chart. But it's great. That was the lowest point in the history of our country for illegal immigration. And I can tell you, drugs were there and lots of other things. Human trafficking in women. You know, the human trafficking is largely in women. How about this? Their open border policy, it's not even believable. 325,000 children are missing, dead, or sex slaves or slaves. Think of that. If that were a Republican, or if that were me especially, if that took place during my administration, they'd be talking about bringing back the electric chair. They really would. See those people? They don't write about it. 300, think of that. That's like take your biggest stadium and fill it up many times. That's what you're talking about. 325,000 children are missing or in a form of slavery. They're gone, probably will never be seen by their parents again. That's what they're giving us. And nobody even writes. You know, that's a carnage. That's a beyond anything people have ever heard. And they won't even write stories about it. They won't write a story about Afghanistan and that horrible stupidity of Afghanistan. The way they did it, they moved the military out first. They don't want to cover it. Now it's like, you know, we're fighting some pretty bad forces, let me tell you. Over the past 4 years, Kamala has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted on their people. There's never been anything like this. She's violated her oath, eradicated our sovereign border, and unleashed an army of gangs and criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions from all around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo. Oh, the Congo. The Congo is sending a lot of people. They're sending their people in jail. Think of the money they save and the danger of it all. And they're coming into our country. They're coming in through Kamala and her open border stupidity policies. Today, I want to hear directly from a mother whose beautiful child is gone, was killed. Her life has been totally shattered. Please take a look.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because of her coming to work with me in the morning first to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends. Yeah.
We're going to shake it again.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in her bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape, and immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach.
All right, everybody, I've got to...
And you have thousands of cases, all different forms of crime, many against very young girls, 12 years old in that case, Jocelyn. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. And if you look at the polls that are so prevalent, I see so many polls, but almost every poll has inflation as the number one problem in the economy. But I think that's the number one problem for our country. We're going to get inflation. We're going to get the economy taken care of. I'm real good at that stuff. We're going to take care of it. It's going to happen fast. We're going to drill. We're going to drill. We're going to do other things, too. We're going to get Elon to come in and give us a little advice on cutting the hell out of your expenses. Elon. Anybody that can send a rocket ship and land it back like that is going to be very easy to cut expenses. But he wants to. And he, by the way, gave us his total endorsement. You know that. He said if Trump doesn't win, it's virtually the end of the country as we know it. And it is. We're on very thin ice. But when you vote on Tuesday, I want you to remember Jocelyn and Lincoln Riley and Rachel Morin and every American who has been stolen from us by Kamala's ridiculous open border policies. She's not going to change that. The day they got in, they just opened it up. They got a little bit tougher about 2 months ago. They forgot to, however, end the flights flying over the border with thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, dumping them all over our Middle West. The United States is now an occupied country. Can you imagine having to say, we're an occupied country? But it will soon be an occupied country no longer. On November 5th, 2024, it will be Liberation Day in America. On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program of criminals in American history. It's going to be the largest deportation of criminals. We're going to get them out of here fast. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered, and we will put the vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. And to expedite the removals of Trenday Aragvada. This is a vicious gang, but you have others. You have other very vicious gangs, MS-13. They're savages. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Can you imagine? We have to go back to 1798. That's when they ran a country a little tougher, I guess, to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. We don't want them. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. And I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States of America. Black voters are furious with Kamala over illegal immigration. It's destroying their communities. And if this continues, there will have been no political power left for them because all of their communities will be majority migrant. That's what's happening. You're going to have majority migrant because the Democrats want to get them votes. They want to get them enlisted to vote. And what about Gavin Newsom in California? I was very happy to see. Did you see his poll numbers went way down today? Did you see that? Gavin Newsom, one of the worst governors in the history of our country. He signed a bill making it illegal for somebody to even ask for voter ID. In other words, if you're with the state, and you want to check somebody, you're not allowed to vote. You're not allowed to say, "Excuse me, ma'am, may I please see your voter ID?" They want to put you in jail if you want to do that. They want to treat you rather harshly. So he's taken it a step further. Why would they not want voter ID? You know why? There's only one reason. Because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. We got to straighten that whole thing out. We will. We will. I will keep American communities for American citizens. We're going to have American people in our communities now. We're not going to let this. Do you know that these gangs have weapons that are above military grade? And that even the police, I mean, it's like very tough, very tough. In Colorado, Aurora, you have the same gang, the Venezuela gang, has taken over apartment complexes. In other words, they're like me, they're in the real estate business. But they do it with guns and they do it with violence, tremendous violence. On top of it all, Kamala says she would not do one thing differently from crooked Joe Biden, which is in itself disqualifying.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
Would you have done something?
Because it's so frickin' stupid. And they're just about finished. They are.
If you want to end this disaster, you must, on Tuesday, get out and vote. You got to vote. Thank you for everybody that has voted. We appreciate it. So we're pleased to be joined by some great people from your state, largely. A man who's become an incredible senator, highly respected in Washington, D.C. by other senators and everyone else. He's doing a great job. Senator Ted Budd, thank you. Thank you. A current congressman who really is something special. I was with him right at the beginning, and now he's running for, as I understand it, Attorney General of your state. And he's going to be fantastic. He has my complete and total endorsement, Dan Bishop. Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Congressman Richard the Warrior Hudson. I call him the Warrior because he is. He's a warrior. Right. And two people that are terrific. We backed them in the primary. We backed them now, and they're going to win their races. Congressional candidates Addison McDowell and Mark Harris. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Good guys, two good guys are going to be great. You heard him speak. RNC Chairman Michael Whatley. He did such a good job here that I said, just run the whole country. I took him out. He was the GOP chair, you know that, here and in North Carolina, and we won it. There was no shenanigans. He had 602 lawyers. And I said, that's the guy I want. And now he's got a lot of North Carolinas where he's got to watch, right? But it looks like it's going very well. Thank you very much. Great job you're doing. Thank you. And a spectacular chairman of the GOP, Jason Simmons. Jason, thank you. And the word is that Franklin Graham is here. Where's Franklin? Is he here? Franklin Graham, I'll tell you, he is so good. Whether he's here or not, I don't even care. The guy is great. He works so hard. His father, Billy Graham, the great Billy Graham, is looking down and he's seeing Franklin, and he is so proud of Franklin. Thank you very much. He's great. And Pam Bondi is here, the Attorney General of Florida for a long time, and she is great. fantastic woman, a fantastic friend. A fantastic friend and woman. And to the best of my knowledge, Pam, Silk is here. Where the hell is Silk? Whoa! Look how beautiful she is. She is beautiful. My wife told me a long time ago now, darling, there's two people on television. They are absolutely amazing. And I said, nobody's amazing. You know, I've sort of seen it all. I've seen it all. Nobody's amazing. And I went over and I looked anyway. I want to be nice, you know, I got to be nice. And I saw these two, and it was amazing. It really was. And they've been with me through thick and thin for 9 years, right? And we lost our beautiful diamond, but we still have our magnificent Silk, right? Thank you. Thank you, honey. So just in conclusion, here are the facts on Kamala. She's a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas herself. Pocahontas, you know, Elizabeth Warren, remember? Somebody said, you don't look like an Indian. She said, I am an Indian. My mother told me I had high cheekbones, okay? I think it's actually racist. I think that's actually racist if you want to really get technical. She was being racist when she said that she has high cheekbones. Remember? And then I drove her crazy and everyone was calling her Pocahontas, and she actually went out for a blood test and she was so happy. 1,024th is what? 1,000. That means I had more Indian blood in me than she had, and I have none. And she was so happy because they said thousands of years ago it may have happened. No, it's terrible when you do that, right? It's terrible when Kamala says that she worked in McDonald's and, you know, she labored over that French fry stove. So the fake news went to McDonald's and they said, no, she never worked here. They don't want to report it. But I bring it up as much as it, because you know why? It's so simple. She's a liar, a real liar. Not a good liar, but she's a significant liar. And when you lie about something so simple, she never worked there. But I did a little bit. This place is amazing. Just remember, it's other people saying it, it's not me. I remember when somebody, because you're not allowed to use the word fat. If you use the word fat, it's the end of your political career. So I was in New Hampshire, which, by the way, I'm leading also. It's not a swing state. New Hampshire. And a man stood up in front, and I admonished him. And he said, Chris Christie is a fat pig. And I said, and you can't use the word fat. And I said, sir, please sit down. Chris Christie is not a fat pig. Yes, he is, sir. I said he's not a fat pig. So the press couldn't write about it because I was, you know, there was nothing to write. I was helping Chris Christie. And he is not a fat pig. Do you agree with that, Pam? Don't say it. Kamala destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund the police movement. And anybody who wants to defund our great police for even one day or 1 week is not worthy of being the president of the United States. She's not worthy for a lot of other reasons, too. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She pledged to confiscate your guns and endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention. All, of course, at taxpayer expense. Nobody minds paying the bill, right? But with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala, and we are going to save America. We're going to save America, right? We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your wages. We're going to do things that you've never seen before. We are going to cut your prices right down to the bottom. You know what's going to do it? Energy. Energy brought it up, and it's going to bring it down. We have so much energy. We have so much energy. We're going to raise your wages and bring thousands and thousands of factories back to America, including back to North Carolina. And you know what we're going to bring back here? Because, I used to come here a lot for your furniture. They had the best furniture in the world, I think. There's never been a replacement to your furniture business. And I used to come, I was building hotels, a lot of hotels. I have had a lot of different careers when you think, but I was doing beautiful hotels. And I'd come here, thank you, Donnie. Thank you. And I'd come to North Carolina and I'd go around to the different furniture, and they were genius. I'd say, could you do something with the handle of that chair? Could you do something? Like what, sir? Ding, 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 ding. It's like a piece of art. Would you like me to put your face on it? I could do that, sir. Ding, ding, ding. And in about 10 seconds, it's better looking than my damn face. No, the talent was unbelievable. Really, it was unbelievable. And they got wiped out by China and others. They just took, you have still a small fraction of what it is. But when I do my tariffs, because as I told you, it's the most beautiful word outside of love and religion. See, I had to do that, otherwise I'd be in trouble. I had to say that. But it's the most beautiful word in the dictionary, tariff. It will save our country. Only stupid people don't want to use it, or corrupt people also. Do you know China, during my 4 years, paid us hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs and taxes? And they were fine with it. And we'll end up having a good relationship with China, but it was very unfair what was happening. And but we're going to bring your business, your furniture business back. We can do it so easy. Some of those guys that I dealt with are older now. Maybe they don't come back, but it's in the blood, really. It's in the blood. You have the greatest artisans in the world. I went to China and I started buying chairs and things, and I had a lot of problems. I'm serious about it. They were just not made the same way. And I had, a guy would sit in a chair, and he's a little bit overweight, 100 pounds, and he sits in the chair, and the frickin' chair collapses, and I end up getting my ass sued off all the time. That wouldn't happen with the North Carolina chair. How would you like it? I built a gorgeous brand new hotel overlooking the park. I have beautiful furniture. The guy sits down and he breaks his ass. No, we don't want that. We want to bring it back to North Carolina. You're the best in the world. All right, Ted, you want to do that? We're going to do that. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, which would have never started. The war in Ukraine would have never started if I were president. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East. October 7th would have never happened. And I will prevent World War III as only I can. You're going to end up in a World War III with these idiots that we have running our country. They're idiots. We will crush violence. Do you remember they sent Kamala to negotiate with Russia? Remember that? 3 days before they invaded. They wouldn't have done it with me, and they didn't. I was there for 4 years. They never did do it. No, Vladimir. I would have said, Vladimir, don't do it. I did say that, actually, if you want to know the truth. Vladimir, don't do it, Vladimir. Please don't do it. Don't do it, Vladimir. Don't forget, I'm the one that stopped his pipeline in Europe, the biggest economic development job they ever had. I stopped it. And then this moron came in and he approved it. This moron came in and he approved the Russian pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. But you know what he did? He killed the Keystone Pipeline. He got them mixed up. The Keystone Pipeline was our pipeline. Keystone XL Pipeline, it was our pipeline. He killed it, 48,000 jobs in a very important pipeline. So he got it reversed. It was supposed to be, let the Keystone get built. They were starting construction, 48,000 jobs. It was the reverse. He should have killed the Russian pipeline, or let it be killed, because I already killed it. But the Keystone Pipeline, he should have, he got it, he gets everything mixed up. He wouldn't tell, if you asked him what's the Keystone Pipeline, he wouldn't be able to tell you. If I asked him, what does MAGA stand for, Joe? I don't know. You know what it is? Joe, it's Make America Great Again. But you know what they should do? I think in the favor, in order so that we continue to say that we have a great democracy, I think she should go in and give him back the presidency, let him finish out the run. If they can do it once, let him do it again. Because I actually think he'll do just as good. So, and you got to, look, if I don't win this thing after all this talk, I'm in trouble. You please go and vote. I mean, I came here. Whatever the hell time it is, who the hell knows? I'm giving you the full bore. You wouldn't let me leave in half an hour. I could have run up here, done it, start screaming, Make America Great Again for 5 or 6 times, and then leave to the cheers of the crowd. I would have been home sleeping right now. I hope to hell that you're going to get your asses out and vote. Did you all vote? Everybody? I figured. I know these guys voted. But we'll crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. And by the way, people say to you, how are you going to know who these people are, the migrants? Let me tell you, your local police are incredible. They know their names. They know their middle initial. They know the serial numbers. They know everything about them. They know more about them than we want to know. They'll work with us. They're dying to do it, too. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We gave so much of it away to Afghanistan. Can you believe that? These idiots, they gave away the best tanks, the best planes. They even gave away night goggles. You know, the Afghans are good fighters, but they don't fight at night. But now they do. They have our night goggles. Brand new night goggles, better than what we have. Ours are older. They have brand new. Can you imagine what they got, Pamela? Can you imagine? They got everything. So embarrassing. And then they had a parade down their boulevard, or whatever the hell you call it. Wasn't the most beautiful boulevard, but it was a boulevard nevertheless, right? And 3 weeks ago, and they had these armor-plated vehicles that cost millions of dollars, armor-plated, 4 and 5 inches of armor, the best in the world. And they showed going down the boulevard, which is basically they were taunting us and mocking us. All that equipment. Look at Uncle Sam back there. Stand up, Uncle Sam. Look at him. Look at this guy. Wow. He's a good-looking Uncle Sam, man. He's got the whole package. Thank you, Uncle Sam. You look great. Wow. Okay, you have a deal. You have a deal. But we'll build a missile defense shield, all made in the USA. We'll rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe and clean and beautiful again. Our capital is a mess. People go to the capital, they end up getting shot, killed. We're going to clean our capital. We're going to take it back from these people that run it so badly, so horribly. With an unlimited budget, the budget is virtually unlimited, and they run it so badly. We're going to get rid of the graffiti on the beautiful marble. We're going to get, they have beautiful, the most beautiful marble columns. When a dollar was a dollar, they built it, right? Most beautiful buildings you've ever seen. We're going to clean up our capital and make it safe again. We'll teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men, of course, out of women's sports. And we will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms, our Second Amendment. Look at the muscles of this guy. Excuse me. Could you stand up? Look at that guy. You in the beautiful white shirt. Would you look at this guy? Holy mackerel. I'm looking at him. I always wanted to look like that. I just didn't want to do the work. You look good. Don't let anyone stop you. You look good. Good to have you, too. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to defend our borders, and we're going to protect our citizens. We got to put America first. It's time to put America first. And we're going to help other countries, but we got to put America first. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. They're conquering our country. We will be a free and proud nation. Once again, everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope, and the American dream will be back. But for that to happen, we must defeat Lion Kamala Harris. And we must stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig. We're going to get too big to rig. In other words, get out and vote. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. Yup, they're there and they're here. With your vote in this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. Belongs to all of you. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And 3 days from now, can you believe it, 3 days? We've been waiting for 4 years for this. And if I didn't do so great, I mean, we did much better in the second election than the first. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done this. I could have been on the beach. I could have been lots of places. But I would have had no interest. What we're doing, remember, this is the greatest political movement probably in the history of the world, in all fairness. And this is the movement that's going to bring our country back. And we can do it, and we can do it almost easily. It's going to be a little rough in places. They've taken us to levels that we never thought we'd have to worry about, with all these people and, murderers and drug lords and terrorists and all. We didn't have these problems. We didn't have these problems. Now we do. It's a big problem. But we're going to solve those problems, and we're going to solve them fast, and we're going to get back on track. And once we are, we're going to move like you've never seen before. 3 days from now, it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. That's what I believe they're going to be. With your help from now until Election Day, we will restore America's promise, and we will take back the nation that we love. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down. and we will never, ever surrender. Together we will fight, fight, fight. Together we will win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you. God bless you, North Carolina. Get out and vote. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back. Thank you very much.
Okay, there he goes with his third speech of the day, and he's still dancing. And he's got 3 more tomorrow. And then 4 on Monday. So 7 events. The guy's closing hard. He's closing strong. He's leaving, as they say in football, he's leaving nothing on the field. There's nothing anybody can say at this point as if this man didn't do every possible thing he can do to get elected. And what I'm going to show you, I just don't go away. I got 2 things I want to show you. And these 2 things are just absolutely jaw-dropping. So as Trump gets ready to leave the stage, I always like to leave it on until he's actually off the stage. But tomorrow we have, the first one is 10 a.m., and that's in a place called Lidditz, Pennsylvania. It's outside of Lancaster, so it's Amish country area type thing. The guy's, look at him, the man's dancing. As tired as he must be, he's still letting the people know I'm bringing a good show. Yeah, so yes, we need to get out and vote. We definitely, I voted, Robin voted. I don't know if you voted. Get out there and vote. Get your friends, your family, your coworkers that want to vote for Trump. And we do need to make it too big to rig. So what has happened tonight? Since you guys have been watching the rally and I've been working the rally backside and looking at X, and I'm telling you, the psyop that I described earlier today, and then yesterday I told you just get off of X, go away from Facebook, don't look at stuff on YouTube. These things are designed to get you discouraged. I saw some people in here early that were getting discouraged. So I'm going to dig into something. And as I want to dig into this, I want you to really understand what you're seeing. And that way you will basically realize that you're being gaslit. They got the little gold thing, and it's just going back and forth and gaslighting you. And it works. Because I've seen a lot of people who basically have been upset because they think, it's slipping away. And it's not. It is the entirety of it is gaslighting. Now, what I'm about to show you as Trump leaves, it's actually 3 things that I want to show you. All right, let's look at 3 things. Let's talk about Polymarket first. A lot of people dug into Polymarket, and now what has happened? As I told you, all these pollsters were going to start coming together. They're going to show, he had a 30-point lead, but she's coming on strong. Why would she be coming on strong? She hasn't done anything. Oh, but she's closing hard. No, she's falling apart. We watch it. We see it. And then somebody did some digging. And when they did digging, look what they found here. This is the owner of Polymarket. That is the owner of Polymarket. I'm just going to leave that and let you digest that. Now, what I want to show you is something that's really, really going to piss you off. I don't know who came up with this strategy. I've said this many a time. I said you and I could probably do a better job at strategically consulting with Democrats. Listen to what dropped tonight. This is Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York.
It gave me a chance to tie the Republicans running in these seats, the incumbents, closer to Donald Trump, and remind everybody, if you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you are voting for someone who supports Donald Trump, and you're anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American because you have just trashed American values and what our country is all about over and over and over.
You are anti-woman, you are anti-this, anti-baby removal, and if you vote for Donald Trump and you live in New York, you're anti-American. This woman doesn't realize she's the governor of the entire state, does she? You know, where most of biggest police force in the country, maybe LA might be close to it, biggest fire department in the country. And she just told all of them, you're all anti-American. Who came up with this strategy to call Trump and all the supporters Nazis and garbage and anti-American, and they really think that is going to work? That is going to resonate? Are there really that many communists in this country? But now I'm going to show you one stat. So tonight, some pollster who tried to hide her data came out and said that Trump is getting beat by Kamala Harris in Iowa. People are like, Iowa wasn't even in contention. Iowa is a slam dunk. It's always been a slam dunk for Republicans, especially Trump. And now you're at 10:45 on Saturday night. You're dumping a poll that says Kamala Harris is 3 points up in Iowa. How the F can that be? Well, I'm about to show you. Before I do that, I want to show you, and some of you have seen it, but I want to show you the poll that you guys took. Let me go ahead and put this together so I can get to it. Where's the poll? Okay. This is the poll that, let me find it on here. Okay. This is the poll that you guys just all took. At this point, 2,400 people have voted in this poll. And I just simply put out 4 items. I said, what do you feel is the top political issue? Immigration, economy, saving democracy, and baby removal, short for the big A word. And many of you commented and said it was hard because immigration and the economy, a lot of people felt go together, that they're, one and the same. So it was very hard for them to discern from immigration and the economy. But immigration came whopping, overwhelmingly ahead, 62%. I could understand that. The economy came in at 27%. As you can see, saving democracy came in at 9%, and baby removal came in at a low 2%. So, if you people here are somewhat indicative of a population, and you find that immigration and economy are the top things, and I would feel that this audience who watches these videos is pretty much the same like, the Hawkeyes in Iowa. I'm pretty sure it's a very conservative electorate. So I'm going to show you something, because somebody found her tabs. Jack Posobiec, he put it out. This is from the Des Moines Register, the woman who puts the polls together. And I want you to look at this and tell me what jumps out at you. All right? First of all, it's how they worded it. The majority of likely Kamala Harris voters in Iowa say they have been thinking most about the future of democracy when making their choice for president. Likely voters in Iowa who said they have a preferred candidate was Kamala Harris were asked, which of the following have you been thinking about most in your decision to support Kamala Harris? Notice Trump wasn't there. Look at what number 1 is. Number 1 is the future of democracy. Number 2 is baby removal. all the way down at the bottom is immigration. Understand, everything that you as a conservative to think, they want you to think that the conservatives in Iowa think just the opposite. Just flip it over. Baby removal and future of democracy is what she's trying to tell people on a Saturday night are most important. I rest my case. I don't even have to look at any polls the rest of the weekend. You see that data, which is called a crosstab, you will never see. If you go on X tonight, everybody is talking about, oh, Kamala Harris is up by 3 points. She's up by 3 points in Iowa. She's going to take this thing. And those of us who know how to look at methodology start digging. How'd they come up with this? That's how you came up with it. That you're lying to the American public. This is your proof. As you take away tonight and you go about your business and you stay off of, well, you can go on X, but just ignore all the clamor, ignore Polymarket, ignore what you're going to hear in the media. Actually, don't even tune in. It's designed to piss you off and to demoralize you, because you'll never see this crosstab. You will never, ever, unless you know how to dig into a methodology table, you will never see this data. The only data you are going to see, and you can look for yourself if you want to, it's going to say Kamala's up by 3%. She flipped Iowa. She's going to win Iowa. Who did this woman talk to? I have a conservative audience. I have an audience that represents Trump supporters. Iowa is a heavy Trump-supporting state. And that's the poll you come up with? I mean, you didn't even try to hide the fact that you were putting your thumb on the scale. You didn't even try to just look, maybe they won't notice. Maybe nobody will ever dig into this shit, because most of the people don't know how to find it, and so they're going to accept the gaslighting, and we can show them that she's getting close so we can cheat easier. So that Jamie Raskin can say, oh, Trump couldn't possibly have gotten this many votes because nobody wanted him. They wanted Kamala Harris. It was close. If they're willing to do this stuff, understand what's happening. Understand how you're being completely, without any equivocation, completely gaslit. They think you are an MK Ultra zombie, because their people are. This is the kind of data that people who look at polls dig into. Let me see. Hey, oh really? Can I see your methodology? And methodology is basically a big word for saying, how did you come up with this? Let's dig in to see where you came up with this. Who did you poll? How did you poll them? When did you poll them? What did you ask them? How many of them were black? How many were Hispanic? How many were white? How many were aliens? And then when you dig into that methodology, all that goes into how they use their calculations to go, she's up by 3 points. But if you're, like people, who said it? Mark Twain? Lies, lies, and statistics. They're waiting 3 days before the election, and they're starting to pump out this absolute pablum, hoping that you just eat it up and get worried. Oh my God. And all I'm trying to do is show you that's how they bullshit you. That's how they get people all freaked out. And I guarantee you, if you turn on Fox, even Fox or Newsmax, and they say to you, oh, looks like things are tightening. The Des Moines Register today, they said that she's up by 2 points in Iowa. Hey, Fox and friends, can you show me how she came up with that? Nope. I'm a talking head and I read what's in the box. And so tomorrow morning, you're going to hear them spout, oh, the race is tightening. Shock poll came out. The Des Moines Register is saying that Kamala Harris is ahead in Iowa. And not a single one of them are going to show you the data behind it. You have to be astute enough to say, I seen it. I see that you cooked this with really, rotten chicken. I ain't eating it. I'm done with it. That's how bad it is. And I know most people won't show you this stuff. They think we're stupid. No, it's not even so much that they think you're stupid. They think that you don't have the ability to look at all of what they're doing. Literally, like I'm saying, if Robin makes some food, she puts it on a plate or in a dish, and I eat it. I don't know what she put in it. I don't know how she got it to where here's the final product. All I know is it tastes really good. Well, when you look at these kind of polls, you have no idea what they've put in the cauldron and how they've stirred it up and then served it up to you, and how it tastes like shit to conservatives, but at that point the media is running with it because, as Nancy says, it's the smear wrap-up campaign. Hey, it's been reported, so it's news. So I should just be reporting it to you that she's up by 3 points in Iowa. No, I want to know the ingredients. I want to know why this tastes so bad to me. When did you put this chicken in here? How long has that chicken been sitting in the sun? Because some tastes really bad, but they don't tell you that. What's going on in Fulton County? Oh, they got caught. They got caught as well. They got caught trying to cheat, and the courts had to step in. Everywhere they're cheating. It's such a sad statement on America that their only way to win is to cheat. Nobody wants what they're selling. No, so they have to cheat. And luckily, and hopefully it continues, Lord Trump's got a good enough team that's finding all this stuff. Michigan auto workers laid off because electric cars don't sell. Yeah. Can I sue a hotel? 40 years paying taxes in New York, and I'm not an American. That's pretty funny. Yeah, you're going to be paying a lot more, too. We are MAGA, not buying their circus antics. And that's all I'm trying to show you. You can show this to your friends. It's like, wait a second, can you tune in? We're going to skip the whole speech. I know you've heard that stuff before. I want to tune into like the hour and 52 minute mark Barry's video. Did you see this? And you're going to see people, number one, they don't want to hear it. That's the other part of it. She's ahead. But do you know how she's ahead? Doesn't matter. She's ahead. That's what the news is telling me. That's how people will react. Oh man, you're making it up. You're a Chicken Little. No, it's her data, not mine. I'm just showing you her data. I didn't edit it. Didn't do anything. I'm just showing you like, oh, here's the ingredients that she put in the dish. You believe it? You believe that this chicken still tastes good? Or are you just eating sour chicken? Maybe you should talk to Chef Ramsay. Oh, what are you doing? You're stupid. You're eating this shit. And people don't care. Because, what do they call it? Confirmation bias. I want her to be ahead, hence the polls show her ahead, so I believe she's ahead. That is called confirmation bias. They don't even want the truth. See, that's where you have to separate yourself. You have to be so hungry, so aggressive with your appetite that you're like, oh man, a new poll. Let's see what's it got. Where? This doesn't look good. This isn't true. There's no way this is true. You're lying to me. That's how you have to be, so that you can tell other people if you want to tell other people. If not, you just sit there feeling confident to yourself. You're running. These people are running around saying she's ahead. Okay. What else we got here? The sheep will continue to be sheep and bury their heads in their sand. Yep. And what happens to those sheep and pigs? They get slaughtered. Yeah, that's what happens. They're cheating the polls. They're cheating the boxes. They're cheating ballots. They're cheating everywhere. Barry, have you seen the latest Poly Market poll? Don't have to. I told you what was going to be happening. It was easy to see. They were so desperate at this point. They had to have and it's funny, Trump said a confluence. They had to have a confluence, a convergence. They had to do something because things were looking so freaking bad. And we're all laughing at it. And some of the people that I've been talking to back and forth, The guys are posting stuff like, the scam is on at Poly Market. Democrats are pouring huge money into desperately suppress you. One clown spent $650,000 pumping Kamala like 5 minutes ago. It's all arbitrage. They can't even mask it. You know, some of us have tools we can dig in and go, oh yeah, we saw what Fred just did here. Fred got some money from Act Blue and he blew $650,000. Who in the flip was going to spend $650,000 on this race? Come on, I'm a Trump supporter and I ain't laying down $650,000. I'd rather put it on the Dolphins beating the Bills tomorrow. They're so overboard, they're so overzealous with trying to cheat that when you start digging in, you're like, it's too obvious. It's too obvious. You end up shaking your head. And at the same time that she did that, when I say she, the woman at the Des Moines Register, I've been telling you that the court systems are just bitch slapping these people down. This came out at what time? This came out at 9:23 p.m. So just about an hour ago while we were listening to Trump talk, okay? Another court decision by a judge. This judge says a federal judge in Arizona ruled that election officials must hand over records of 1.2 million unknown voters on the state's 2024 election voter rolls to election integrity activists for inspection. The court, this is a quote from the ruling, the court is aware that compiling the records may prove difficult, which the court will account for in the time it allows defendant to produce the requested records. However, that difficulty has no bearing on citizen AG's right to receive those records, whether they had made such a request 2 years ago when the plaintiffs contend the state of Arizona should have cleaned up its voter rolls, or 6 days before the election. The law is the law, even on the eve of an election. Keep showing you. This isn't 2020. These judges are clapping back on these people because now it seems Laura Trump's lawyers know what to say and know what to file. And I keep seeing these things. The reason I think this is an amazing ruling is because the courts have given the election fraudsters nowhere to hide. If they pull any fraud in this election, we will know faster than Usain Bolt finishes a 100-meter race. The judges are fed up with their shenanigans, and rightfully so. I'm going to disagree. It's not that the judges are fed up. I am pretty sure if you backdated things and went and looked at the filing, whoever put the filing into the court looked at 2020 in Arizona and said, okay, that's not going to work. We need to make sure that we coordinate and do the filing correct so they can't say no standing or throw it out. And so the judges are stuck. Yeah, this is correct. So you got to give us the 1.2 million voters. Maybe that's why they were saying, hey, we're not going to be able to count this till Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll wait. If you got to give up 1.2 million voters so that they can be inspected and verified, yeah, I'll wait on that. What was Arizona's margin of victory for Joe last time? 11,000? Yeah, I'll wait. I think they're going to find more than 11,000 people who aren't supposed to be on that voting roll. They're seeing this. I'm seeing this. You now see it. Now you understand the freak out. Now, I keep trying to show you information. This isn't Barry making it up. I'm showing you actual data. You can begin looking this stuff up yourself. You're never going to hear this on the news. I bet you don't hear this on the news tomorrow, that they got to give up 1.2 million people on the voter rolls to be verified. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. Here's the tweet another tweet by it. It says, Judge Logan was pissed at the Democrat Secretary of State she didn't even show up to answer the questions. Check out the transcript. So somebody posted a transcript of the actual file. You could click here and read the transcript. Posted of a judge questioning the Secretary of State's rookie lawyer. Judge, is there anything the Secretary can do before November the 5th as it relates to determining if there are any ballots that have already been cast by any members of accepted registrants, people who aren't supposed to vote? Response, Your Honor, I don't. You don't know? What do you mean you don't know? I don't know. I think it's highly unlikely. Why isn't the secretary here? Well, Your Honor, because it's 4 days before an election and I don't want to hear it. Why isn't one of the secretary's lawyers here that sees him every day and works with him every day? Your Honor, the hearing was not, it wasn't clear to us that this was to be an evidentiary hearing, that witnesses were required. We can, shut up, okay? You don't know? This is the actual transcript from the court filing. And you can go through it and go through the entire thing, but I know my courtroom deputy is incredibly busy. My court reporter is incredibly busy. The 3 lawyers behind you, I am sure they are all incredibly busy. The nature of being a professional and being gainfully employed, working and earning a wage that you pay taxes on by virtue of what we do, I think we're all incredibly busy. But I wish I was in a position to tell the Ninth Circuit or the Supreme Court when something gets sent back to me. That's very important. I would have done better, Your Honor, but I'm incredibly busy. Don't think the Ninth Circuit cares that I'm incredibly busy, because at the end of the day, under Article 3, just like the Secretary of State, I have responsibilities that I need to take care of as it relates to my job. I.e., translation, you ain't putting me in a position where the Supreme Court or the Appellate Court are going to look at my work and go, what the hell were you thinking, Judge? I ain't going to take that. So now I'm going to have to spank you. Give up the 1.2 million people on this voter roll. And so they don't got it. They realize right now they're stuck. And so now that's why she came out, that I'm saying she, whoever the Secretary of State or he, saying, it's going to take 4 days or 5 days. Well, go ahead. Get going. Step. Get those get 1.2 million. What are you sitting here for? Go count them and get them. The Democrats are basically like cornered animals right now. Everything that they're doing, they're getting a judge is like, nope, can't do it. Nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do it. So all they have left is gaslighting. I bet you won't hear anything about this case on any network anywhere. You can go look it up yourself and you can keep digging. So what you just saw me do, I clicked on 2 links, got to this one. Now if I click on this one, I'm sure I'm going to get even further election news. And then here's one. This was just filed an hour ago. Election shenanigans, Secretary of State, blah, blah, blah. And here it all is right here. They're gonna tell you about it. And he's tagged Elon Musk and everybody else. Tagging Elon Musk means he can amplify it to his integrity community. And, it's just gone. Breaking a federal judge, blah, 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 blah. So I only show you all this to let you know they're on it this time. This ain't 2020. You're just not hearing it all. You're not hearing all the information that's happening in basically real time. That was an hour ago. Nobody's taking the day off. Nobody's sitting back going, we lost. She's 3 points ahead in Iowa. Oh, really? Let's dig into your shit. We found what you did wrong. So I'm just telling you this so that people can, in the chat, and tomorrow in the chat, you can start telling people, hey man, go do your homework. Just don't take what these people are saying at carte blanche. If you aren't ready to dig into the information, then you need to find people who will dig into the information and give it to you, whether it be me or anybody else. That way you can be served up the most fresh bit of information that you can be given. And then it's up to you still to go do your homework, if you want to. Otherwise, you're going to go to a fast food restaurant on the corner of MLK Boulevard that's going to serve you up some old-ass chicken and tell you it tastes good. And when you smell it, it stinks, but that's what they're serving to you. And I didn't mean no disrespect to MLK, but you know what kind of restaurants are on MLK Boulevard, right? Yeah, all right. So, again, Gina, don't believe me. I'm giving you information where you can go and dig this stuff up and just follow through on your own. There's no reason to believe anybody, not me, not the media. Go to the source. Your best source is an actual document. So when you hear a poll, how did you get to that number? You just couldn't have picked it out of your butt. You had to have something to back up that number. And now people are digging. It took less than an hour for people to pull apart her poll. Took this thing came out an hour later. Hey, you're not prepared. Boom, you're slapped. Just get in there. Barry talks to us, not down to us. Yeah, because I want you to be able to decipher what you're seeing, how you're hearing it, who's giving it to you, how can you push back and go in and dig in for yourself. I mean, let's say, let me see, Des Moines poll. Okay, so I'm sure the headlines are going to be, yeah, okay, so here's your headlines. Ready? Oh, no, wrong window. Wait a second. I want you to see this because this is also very important for you, okay? When you pull this information, and I put in Des Moines poll so you guys can see it, okay, look at the first thing that pops up. In Iowa poll come out 3 hours ago, leapfrogs Donald Trump to take the lead in Iowa. And then Trump no longer leads in a state he carried twice. Shock poll, even Fox has Harris leading. So let's go to Fox and see what kind of dish they are serving. You know, they're supposed to be conservative. I expect the other ones to lie. Let's dig into Fox. Okay, shock poll has Harris leading Trump in Iowa with a 3-point shift. And here's some video, and Vice President leads former all of a sudden. And the shock poll showed a 7-point shift to Harris, blah, 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 blah. And it's hard for anyone to say they saw this coming. The poll was conducted then. Harris' lead is within the 3.4 margin of error. Still, the poll seems to be an outlier. And we're down to the end of it. And you see any methodology? Or do you just see some intern who posted a story without ever digging in? They did put a link here. Let's see if they put a link to the actual poll. I'm looking for a link. So Bree Stinson, you wrote this at 9:14. You got it up there really fast. This goes to Vice President Harris. Let me see if there's a link to the poll. This is about Trump, but there's no link to the poll. Hey, Bree, wait a minute. Is this it? The poll. Okay. So I can click here, and now I'm opening the poll. So she wrote the story, and she just said, hey, go look here for yourself. She probably didn't. Iowa poll, and here's the poll, and here's some guy talking, and key points, and the poll shows that women, particularly older, who are independent, and I don't see, okay, now I got to dig and go to a third link. So, boom, now I got to click this link. Now I'm going down, and I'm going, nope, that's not it. Hey, can you show me the actual poll, please? I don't see the actual poll. That's September, that's Iowa. Here's how she's winning, but I don't see any of your ingredients in here. That's because there's nothing here. It's all text. Where is your data? Oh, wait a minute. You didn't post any. You didn't post any data. You made these nice little graphs. You see what I'm saying? I could spend more time and have to dig, but I know already people who already have it. They've already pulled her PDF with all of her methodology, and it's not to be found. I mean, I'm still scrolling, and I just want to see a link to your methodology. I don't want to see your pretty graphs and all that stuff. Don't see anything. Still don't see anything. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Don't see anything. Don't see anything. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. And when you have to scroll that long, that tells me they don't want you to see the data. They don't. I mean, I've probably scrolled. Ha ha ha. This is gonna crack you up. I scrolled probably the whole time I was talking. I was scrolling, and way down here, see this where it says here? Let me see if I can blow this up. You can see it. And it says methodology. Way down. Nobody's going this far down. So it's like, hey, let me see this methodology. Oh, here. And when you get in here, it tells you all the things that they found. And it goes into much smaller text and everything else. But this is where people have to see, and they would not be able to see unless they blew this up and saw it themselves. I don't need this side, but I'd have to look at this on my old computer. That's how far down they hide this stuff. And then it's not until you look in here do you see what was actually asked, who was asked, when they were asked, and how they were asked. I know, I'm a nerd. I'll own up to that right now. I'm a nerd. And the reason I became a political nerd is because I know these guys are full of crap. Page after page. Can you just give me the link? I can look at it myself. I don't need your pretty graphs. Can you keep going? And way, way, way down on the fourth page that we clicked on, then we were able to see the methodology. Why would you hide that? And why would Fox just put it out there? They just did what I told you they would do. They heard a story, they saw a story, they published a story, even on Fox. She's up by 3 points. No explanation. None. All right. So anyway, Barry multitasks. He talks to us while we're searching. And that way you can begin digging all this stuff yourself. Yeah, that's great, Barry. Yeah. I just want you guys to know. We love nerds. And it's funny because I'll probably dig in here myself tomorrow and be able to talk to you early. But it's not worth it because I already know. I already know because I know there are people right now who have already taken the time to dig through this and they're laughing at it. They're just laughing at it. Like for instance, look at this number here. This guy says, if it helps any of you sleep better tonight, Seltzer's new poll is based off of an R+2 sample. Iowa is more like an R+10 state, and that's before a huge new voter registration added more to the rolls. Iowa people don't see this in their data at all. As always, play like we're 5 points down. Nothing changes. Vote and chase. Now, that's probably a lot for you to digest. What the hell does he mean? All right. We know what happened in 2016. We know what happened in 2020. We know 2022. Iowa has always been a 10-point favorite leaning for the Republicans. 10. Then we just got 130,000 new registrations to vote for 2024. So it's probably closer to R+12. Yet when she did the poll, she only did it at R+2. She didn't do it to represent the actual electorate in Iowa. In essence, she shaved off 7 to 8 points to make Kamala look like she was up 3. And if you put the 8 points back in, then she's up by, she's down by 6 or 7. Lies, 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 and statistics. They just, and people are like, hey, just laugh it off. It means absolutely nothing. So that's what I got for you tonight. Let me go ahead and, then you should read, is it likely voters or is it registered voters? I mean, there's so many different things. These people suck. Absolutely suck. And the only reason I bring it up is because people get mired down in it, and they'll be running around tomorrow with their heads are on fire because they're thinking that, oh my God, we're down, when it couldn't be more BS. All right, so let me talk to you about the super chats. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, we're going to go to church because we got Trump early in the morning. So we got the first rallies at 10 a.m. Let me go ahead and read these super chats and get out of here and get you guys out of here. All right, Daniel Doring, Barry for Giggles, they are posting Iowa has 3 points. We just talked about it. Total fake crap. Everyone doesn't buy these fake posts. They will keep coming. Don't even pay any attention. Donna, oh my gosh, the father of fertilization. The more I think of it, the harder I laugh. But the media is all over that one, Trump. Yeah, they'll trash him for that. Sally Everett, glad I found you. Very great job. Thank you very much. Grandma Lynn, show Barry love for all of his hard work. Thank you very much. My best life. Thank you. Papa Chuck. Oh, wait a minute. I need to move this down so you guys can see it. Papa Chuck. I thought it was illegal for U.S. citizens. Oh, Papa Chuck. No, love your show. And X as well. Just another knucklehead. Hey, bro, thought it was illegal for U.S. citizens to bet on a presidential election. I don't know how they're getting around it. Marcus Anderson, January 20th is Trump Day. It's God's plan. Don't make good men do bad things to keep America great. Lady Addie? Is that what that says? Lady Addie? I voice my opinions to YouTube customer service about censorship. It needs to encourage others to do the same. Yeah, but the problem with that is they really, really, really don't care. They don't. They're doing what they want, and they're in the tank for Kamala, and that's it. Larry 1754. Those three ladies behind Trump are fire. Roger Gardner saw a poll like this, and it did not have immigration as a choice. Maybe from CNN. Yep. You can always structure the results based upon the questions you ask in advance. Haley Orozco, I have to work on Tuesday, probably won't get home until around 9. Thankfully, I voted early, but Barry, do you have an estimate as to when we'll find out for sure that Trump won that night? I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to try and string it out. We know 7 or 8 o'clock, the East Coast states drop, and then you got the Midwest. So let's say we'll have a good idea once Michigan and Wisconsin drop. But then again, if he takes Pennsylvania, it may be an early evening. Turn out to vote or sharpen your hunter-gatherer skills. Yeah, exactly. Christy Purcell, thank you. I like when you dance, him dancing. Jeff Travels, let's start the super chats. Thank you, sir. Donna again. Asheville, we were red in 2020, but it was stolen, and we're still pissed off. FEMA was the last straw because of thousands of mega rednecks in pickup trucks heading to the vote. Strong. Justin Knuckle. Neckerhead, Barry, not communist, demons in his country. I'll go there. Yeah, there's something going on in this country. It shouldn't even be close. Don't even know how they're... I mean, we see Cardi B and J-Lo and... Too many people putting credence in that crap. Sandy McKenzie, Barry, I learned so much from listening to what you say. Thank you for your intelligence, your knowledge, and your kind heart. Thank you very much. SJ, I posted a video in a group about Minnesota Somalis are supporting Trump. Thank you to you and mods. Yes, I talked about that. What was that? Yesterday? No, it was earlier today. SJ Bryan, the Democrats want to scare voters away from the polls and make it seem like it's not worth the wait in line to vote. Stay in line. Get that vote in. Absolutely. Mary Boston, love it, very wonderful what you're revealing to me right now. Glad you like that. Just another knucklehead. These fake polls needed so they can justify the dump of illegal ballots. We told you she was leading. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to set it up, but we'll see what happens. Jeremiah Kerr, long one. Please read it all. What say you to the poll regulatory committee to require source material condensed and able to be litigated fully according to affiliation? Speak on it. I just did. We just told you about the court case that was basically adjudicated in Arizona where they want to track these things. So it's not like 2020. They are going to be doing source material. If you're talking about computers, that's a whole nother case that they're working on. Ryan Skamala is lying, cheating, dirty. Moose knuckles. Ugh, that was gross. That was gross talking about moose knuckles. Oh, wait a second. I know what. Ashley's going to kill me because I waited so late to do this, but I got to do it. I got to give away a couple hoodies. In any event, she'll contact the people and get them out there. So let me put this back up here. Put this back up, and okay, live drawing. You can see it, and random pick. Boom. Donna Murray. Oh, you can't see that. Hold on. Why can't you see that? Why can't you see that? Do I need to make this smaller? Or do I need to push this down? Wait, where'd it go? Anyway, Donna Murray, I want to be able to show it to you. Oh. And the winner is Donna, Donna Murray. All right. Pick another winner. There you go. Now you can see. It was Donna Murray. Pick another one. Live draw. Pick the winner. Janie Dressendorfer. Janie Dressendorfer. And let's pick one more real quick. Roger Recker. What a great name. Should have been a linebacker with a name like that. Roger Recker. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to everybody who won a hoodie. We'll talk to you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Hope you guys can make it. I know it's early, but I'm going to get something to eat and get to bed early myself so that I'll be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed myself. Oh, and I'm about to play the outro. And again, if you are one who's prone to seizures, watch out.